Thinking of moving from the hustle and bustle of Chicago to the quiet, laid-back town of Bloomington, Indiana? Let's take a look at those options. My name is Wendy, and I have helped a lot of people move from Chicago to Bloomington. And whether it's because there's a cheaper cost of living in Bloomington than Chicago, or it's graduates from Indiana University that have gone and worked in Chicago and then want to come back to a place that is near and dear to their heart after graduation, or it's alumni that have been gone from Bloomington for years but want to retire here or just move back to, again, something that they know and love. There is also people that come in and they buy places for their students because they don't want to pay the high cost of rent, or they just want to get an investment, a little bit of a return on their students' education. Or there's people that love their students so much that they want a place of their own that they can come and hang on the weekend and not pay those ridiculous hotel prices and Airbnb prices on the game weekends, things like that. So I'm going to kind of give you a little bit of why people are moving here from Chicago to Bloomington, Indiana. One of the most significant differences between living in Chicago and Bloomington is the cost of living. So Bloomington, the median price for a house according to Realtor.com is $399,000. In Chicago, that's all of Cook County, it's $385,000. But the median price if you're living in the downtown area of Chicago is $525,000. So there's a significant difference between that and what there is available in Bloomington. So on the average, Bloomington is considered a cheaper cost of living compared to Chicago because you'll make it up in your utilities and transportation and property taxes. The property taxes are way lower in Bloomington than they are in Chicago. Also, a lot of people rent. And the average cost for a rental, a one-bedroom rental in Chicago is $1,500 a month. And I would say the average cost of a luxury student rental in Bloomington is gonna be about $1,300, but if you're just looking for a rental in general, it's gonna be $1,100 per month. So that's cheaper there as well. And groceries, transportation, and healthcare are going to be lower in Bloomington. Bloomington offers a higher quality of life compared to Chicago's hustle and bustle. The town boasts beautiful parks, a vibrant art scene, and great community spirit. It's known for excellent schools, and we are the home of Indiana University, but the public schools are also considered very good, and I will link a video up here that shows you how to find the best public schools in Bloomington. But because of Indiana University, which just brings a whole youthful vibe to the city, as well as IU brings a lot of cultural events to town. While Chicago is a major hub to various industries, Bloomington has its own job sector, with Indiana University being the city's biggest employer, as well as there's healthcare, technology, and manufacturing in Bloomington. So even though the jobs aren't going to be as prolific as they are in Chicago, you will be able to find a job here, and the cost adjustment will make up for the potential salary differences. If this video is helping you at all, please like and subscribe and share with your friends. If you know anybody that is moving from Chicago to Bloomington. Again, Indiana University is right here in Bloomington. We also have Ivy Tech, and then the Monroe County public school system is very well regarded, so don't forget about that. The housing market in Bloomington offers a diverse mix from historic homes to modern apartments. And speaking of apartments, there's a lot of them in Bloomington. Way too many, in my opinion. But whether you're looking to rent or buy, you will find more spacious housing in Bloomington in comparison to Chicago. The real estate market here is very competitive, but it's accessible. And a lot of people have told me that they're waiting for prices to come down. They don't come down in Bloomington, they just go up. Indiana University insulates us from everything that's going on, and the prices of homes went up 16% over last year in Bloomington, where they only went up 5% in Chicago. Transportation in Bloomington is straightforward. You will need a car here, unless you live in the downtown area or walkable to IU. We do have public transit, but it's nothing like Chicago. Chicago, you almost have to ride public transit if you don't want to be stuck in traffic for hours, right? So Bloomington's not that way. You won't be stuck in traffic for hours, but it does get congested because it's mostly 2-lane roads, and when classes are changing or there's a game weekend, the city fills up and it's very hard to maneuver around town. It will take you longer to get places, but most places are a short walk or bike ride away, making commutes quick and easy. Bloomington offers a tight-knit community with farmers markets, local events, and festivals. We are big on festivals in Bloomington. So there seems to always be a festival on a weekend in the summer or in the fall and in the early spring. We have a lively downtown area with great entertainment that is brought in, great restaurants and local shops that you need to check out. It's really kind of a fun little downtown area. Of course, it's a little pinpoint compared to Chicago's downtown, but it's easy to navigate and there's a completely laid back vibe, which you won't find in Chicago. The cost of dining and entertainment is also lower than what you're gonna find in Chicago, which makes it nice to relax a little bit and be able to go out. If you love the outdoors, Bloomington has great state parks. There's McCormick's Creek State Park, which is about 15 miles northwest of Bloomington. There's Brown County State Park, which is about 15 minutes on the east side of Bloomington. And then there's Hoosier National Forest, which kind of surrounds Bloomington. And there's Morgan Monroe State Forest on the north side of Bloomington. And then Lake Monroe is right on the south side of Bloomington, so you're always going to get the opportunity to kayak, hike, go boating, do all the outdoor things, and it's just minutes away from Bloomington, where you're going to have to travel further for that in Chicago. Now, Chicago does have some great parks, and if you live close to the downtown area, you've got Lake Michigan right there, and it's like going to the ocean, right? Because Lake Michigan kind of feels like it with the waves and the beaches and things like that. But we do have a couple beaches here on the lakes, but we don't have the waves like up on Lake Michigan. But also we don't have the people that are crowded on the beaches and everything like in Chicago. So it makes it more enjoyable to go to the lake and have a fun, family-friendly, lake-filled day. One last point that I want to make about the outdoors is because we have a milder climate than Chicago, you are not going to get the snow and ice like you are in Chicago. So you can enjoy outdoor activities almost year-round. I mean, there are a couple days that you wouldn't want to go out in January and February, but moving from Chicago to Bloomington can be a refreshing change, offering a lower cost of living and a strong sense of community and beautiful natural surroundings. Whether you're looking for a quieter lifestyle, a great place to raise a family, or better housing options, Bloomington has a lot to offer, so it's something you definitely want to consider.